hurricane, a tidal wave. Essence perfect, life looks brilliant. Give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You're burying me, burying me. Yeah, you're burying me, burying me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy for the light. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my hand again. Is it wrong? Is it right? It's like I've won my final war without a fight. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. I know you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy.
Please note,
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. Run my own way to get there. Pulls a coin in the eye, seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. Tell me the storm is coming, for the sake of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Now that I need you anyway. Just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart breaks a beat of time, I press the lens just to tell you. Don't lead the way, don't even say that I draw with a color parade. I feel like I'm fading. I am in misery.
Everyone is watching me when I'm coming around. They all are judging me when I'm lying on the ground. I've got no shelter, I've got no escape. My life is a prison and I can't run away. I feel it in my bones, I'm losing it all. Stuck in my head, I am in misery. Deep inside myself, all I get, my only family. Stuck in the grave, can someone rescue me? I'm burning alive, I got it, I am in
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Taking Over. I am, of course, OLED Ed Fries, and I'm joined by my tag team partner. She is the Nastrel. She is the Hollywood Astrid. She is the queen of our local establishment. She is, of course, the natural. Astrid Bizarre. How you doing, Astrid?
tired of all these nicknames. How are you?
That you just gotta kind of deal with it. We've got friends in the chat. We got Chris Parrish here. Hello, Mr. Parrish. We've got Millie in the chat. Hello, Millie. Glad you are here for a second night in a row on our local establishment as you were watching WCW last night. Queen Auntie might have a dispute about that. Maybe that's something we'll have to deal with. There was indeed justice for Wren. We'll get to that in a few moments. I mean, she also made it clear that she's not winning the match next week, the Saturday night, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
You know, it's like Chris when you're standing tall over with the championship. It's over, honey.
You never want to hold the championship standing tall right before the pay-per-view. The numbers are not with you on that one. But The go-home show for NXT just happened on our way to Deadline. And it was a good one. For once, they had a good go-home show.
Yay!
They literally promoted all the matches that they're having next week.
Yeah.
Millie says, "Oh, I was watching last night and it was a lot of fun." It is indeed a lot of fun. When I made the thumbnail, I didn't realize they were making it a double episode, so they have the thumbnail from episode 2 because nobody told me they needed multiple thumbnails. I just sent this to Astrid too, and Will and both Logan and Will are already bringing up the thing that I was thinking, which is the fact that we saw Stevie and Robert Stone, after dealing with Eddie Thorpe, after dealing with Cora Jade, they looked off into the middle distance like they did when Julia wasn't there but was there for Roxanne. And they did the same look off into the middle distance thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure that everybody's probably right, and there might have been a former WWE Raw talent standing in that archway, and he might be the one who took out Eddie Thorpe there at the end of the show. And we're not talking Zilla Fatu. He's not signed, contrary to all the rumors otherwise. He's not officially signed yet, according to anybody. I've seen nobody report it. I've seen everybody rumor it. But there are two options for that if they want. Well, yes, Robert Stone always looks spaced out because he's an idiot. But that's besides the point. Normally, Stevie Turner has a normal look on her face. Hers is the one I happened to notice during the segment. And I just assumed Stone had one too because, well. So the options are Hikuleo, which I'm thinking is a lot less likely. And then there's Lance Anoa'i. And that's why I said former Raw talent. Because a few years ago, during the middle of the Roman Reigns McMahon storyline, Lance Anoa'i had a match with Shane McMahon on Monday Night Raw. And I think that's who we're going to be seeing having attacked Eddie Thorpe. What does it mean for NXT Deadline? We still don't know. I'm guessing they're going to put somebody else in the match. My money would probably be based on the story they're telling. I'm going to guess it's going to be Lexis King. I know. I'd much rather Cedric, but let's be honest here. It's going to be Lexis King. They had plants in the crowd cheering for him today.
Yuck.
Millie votes for Lance. Lance in WWE is as memorable as Luther Reigns in WCW. Wait, Luther Reigns was in WCW? I remember him as a barely in WWE, but I don't remember him in WCW. And I watched a lot of 2001 WCW.
Look, there's a stranger in the chat.
I know, STG. Where you been? Where you been, motherfucker? Where you been? Good to see you.
We missed you here.
Good to see you guys, Hollywood Astrid. I'm going to Vancouver this weekend. No, you were supposed to be in Vancouver last weekend. You're a weekend short.
I don't blame you. It's Takeover right now. Takeover right now.
Vancouver right now. It's Swifties. All the Swifties in Vancouver as she finishes up her Eras tour.
Look at you.
I only know it because Bobby was talking about it with whether or not Travis Kelce had the off week because he was wondering if Travis was going to go. I watched most of the show muted because honestly, you're better off if you watch NXT muted. Let's be honest here. You're 99% better off when you watch the show muted. He had one segment against Roddy Piper when he was getting the time. Oh, God. Oh, that storyline. Okay. I now vaguely remember what you're talking about. God, if we ever get a show talking about the worst storylines in wrestling, that one's gonna come up because that was awful. Millie is apparently, I think she's applauding me for my Taylor Swift knowledge. I agree, because I don't mind Vic. Vic is delightful. I love Vic. Vic sometimes is wrong, but I love Vic. Booker, on the other hand, well, I have no such love for Booker. KC had their bye week, and sorry, management duties sometimes. Yeah. Will Chisholm jumping in. I'm sorry, why are they trying to make us hate Brian Pillman Sr.? I'm not going to hate them. Stop it. Yeah, that is a weird call that they're trying to make us hate Brian Pillman Sr. It is really, really, really weird. Well, you said you don't want to hear annoying voices. There's only 2 voices on the broadcast. Well, tonight there was Ethan Page.
For
Trust
most
me,
of
if that's the one you're talking about, I understand not wanting to hear annoying people.
Oh, wait, looks like I'm going to need a new co-host.
That's in 2 weeks, not tonight. Logan is very excited for Ashanti and Karmen to kiss.
No.
Oh, I hate that stuff. We'll talk more about that when we get there. I want to hear Booker as much as I want to see Eric Bishop. I don't mind Uncle Eric. I love and was very excited to see Uncle Eric tonight.
I don't know about that.
Thickens. You are very much in the minority.
Yeah.
And if you like Booker T, go ahead and check out, what is it, Rochelle Ross, I think it is, from Reality of Wrestling, who's selling her World Heavyweight Championship belt with Booker T's signature. And in the description, she goes, the thing normally sells on WWE Shop for $500. I'll sell it to you for $300 with Booker's signature on it. And I'm like, yep, sounds about right. Booker's signature ruins the thing about $200. Sounds good.
No
She's
comment.
praising you for your removal of me.
Yes.
I'm taking over the talking duties for the most part on this show because Astrid is still under the weather, and we're trying to save as much of her voice as we can for this week because we have to record our preview show this week, and then we have our post show this weekend. So,
yep. Sorry if I mute myself while if you see my avatar. Yeah, it is there. Just in case.
STG, check out Booker doing live comments.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that is one of the funniest things in the world. Talking about bad wrestling segments, that original Main Event Mafia run would have to be on there.
Oh gosh.
But we're not here to talk about WCW, Roddy Piper, and Hulk Hogan. We're not here to talk about Booker T doing live commentary during TNA with, I forget who he was beating up, but he was tag teaming with Scott Steiner in that match, if I remember correctly. I know Miles looks like Randy, but he's really going off that 2008 look. He's even getting the torso sleeve. He really is. I was going to talk about that later, but Miles is really going all in on this I'm Randy Orton Jr. thing, isn't he?
Hey, might as well. Thank
yes,
you, Billy.
Billy. Let's talk about tonight's show. We're only 13 minutes. This is still early for those of you that watch Honor Ramble. I mean, we're at least talking about wrestling as opposed to Honor Ramble, which is talking about anything other than wrestling.
I mean, it's in the name. They're warning you ahead of time, at least.
Oh boy. We start with the women's last chance fatal 4-way match. Jaida Parker taking on Wren Sinclair, taking on Kelani Jordan, taking on Cora Jade. I assumed this match was going to be a shoo-in for Cora Jade to win. Because 1, it makes sense. 2, it would put a heel in the match in the Iron Survivor, which you kind of need to have. Nope, WWE does not think that, and the winner of this match is the tweener, Wren Sinclair. Astrid, explain.
That's true, but we missed you here at STG. We gotta tell you that much at least. I know I would say that. I don't. Ed might not admit it, but I will.
We missed STG.
No, I really enjoyed this match. I feel like everybody got their time to shine in here, and it was pretty nice of an opener too. What I like about this match though is even though we felt like it was predictable in that sense of like we think it was Cora, But at the same time, I feel like it doesn't matter who was in it. Anybody could have had a chance to be in the match. And I really love that about it. The fact that they could go in so many routes. I feel like that was great. Like there was moments that I thought Jaida had, and there's moments that I'm like, Kelani's in control. Maybe she would take it. And I was like, I like that moment in the match that makes me doubt myself during the whole thing up into the ending. And even the ending was really creative, and it's something that we've seen with Wren before. It's pretty funny to see it because we get Lola coming in here, try to distract Jaida. She does distract her, but instead of hitting her with the back fist, she hits Wren, who lands exactly where she needs to be right on top of Cora to pin her for that 1, 2, 3. And Kelani coming in at the last second to try to break it, but she was too late. Chef's kiss. It was a masterpiece. I love the timing of it. It was great. Props to everybody.
Yeah. Now, Mike, we all know that you love your heels. I know we agreed not to talk about it on stream, but since you brought it up, and we've all seen that photo, Mike. Don't you worry. No, I'm just kidding. But if for those that do love their AEW coverage, please make sure to go check out Mike the Ref. Anytime there's AEW on, he's mostly doing his sidecasts, but especially his Wednesday night sidecasts, where he follows it up with WWE 2K. So you can go ahead and get your AEW in, if that's your kind of thing. I don't know why, but if you do, there you go. And then you get to watch WWE 2K with Mike. It's fantastic. No, I thought this was a really good match. I thought they did this really well. It's the best multi-woman match that we've seen in the past week, which is saying something considering we had a triple threat women's match on Raw last night, and we had women's war games, which I will say was a perfectly fine match. It was not bad by any means, but this was better. This was better. No, I really like this. I love the fact that Wren wins. I'm surprised and shocked by it. But I like the idea of the story that they're telling with the Candy Crew. And if they keep winning, we might actually have to call them by their real name.
No, it's Wren QCC. That's the name.
The Wren QCC?
Yeah, she said it. Might as well go with it.
No.
Yes.
You not need to give her more
SCG, he has a whole bottle of haterade today, so we should be ready for this.
whole full bottle of haterade.
Yeah, no.
Mike says main roster women's matches, regardless of the promotion, in general, have been a little off compared to NXT lately. NXT, the rankings. Yes. We're not getting this over. No. Stephanie Vicor apparently made, I saw again, somewhere on social media, I saw a link to that Stephanie Vicor in an interview did say that this NXT current class is the preeminent class in NXT history, which is saying something because there have been some really good women's wrestling classes in this company. But I think I'd agree with her that I think that there are more potential top level stars in NXT right now than I think there's ever been. Because with the exception of the horsewomen, there haven't, yes. With the exception of the horsewomen, I don't think there's ever been more than 3 top level stars at the same time. Because unfortunately for her, and as much as people love her and I adore her, Dakota Kai doesn't count as a top level star. I don't count her. So you had Shayna and you had Rhea, and you can say that you had Kyrie, but that was about it at that point. Asuka and Ember Moon were basically the only 2 real, again, top level stars at that time, because you don't really consider Nia. You don't really consider any of the other horsewomen that were there at the time. And unfortunately, the Iconics don't count. Yes, HBK does have a problem that most promotions would love to have. I mean, let's be honest. Most promotions have the talent. They just don't book the talent.
But AW's tomorrow, not tonight. We're not talking about that.
I mean, I'd argue that she did go where the best wrestle, but then again, I'm not a fan of Wednesday nights. Although I do appreciate all of the people that enjoy their Wednesday night entertainment. You know, don't yuck nobody's yum. But no, this was a really good match. The result was surprising, but not, you know, it wasn't what they did in the men's match. We'll say it like that, because I was very miffed at the men's result until the end of the show. Yes, we do all have our faults, and most AEW fans' fault is watching AEW. Wednesday is really the worst day of the week. Like, let's just be honest. Like, I know people say it's Monday. It's really
Yeah, I'm glad I got the challenge to watch on Wednesdays.
But was once upon a time. We did love Wednesdays at one point until we decided that Tuesdays were better. Eddie Thorpe comes in, does an interview where he says that Shawn Michaels and Ava have watched back the footage and they clearly see what we talked about last week. That while Eddie Thorpe put her in the position to get hurt, he himself did not hurt her, so should not be punished. Which again makes sense. Should he be punished for putting his hands on her? Maybe. I could see that. I think you'd have an issue with continuity there because I see lots of people put their hands on lots of GMs and not get in trouble, so gonna have to explain that one. But I understand that. He gets into an argument about Lexis King, which brings us back to the comment earlier on. Where is it? Why are they trying to make us hate Brian Pillman Sr.? Like, he says that he has daddy issues, and I'm like, but like, he was so little when Brian Pillman died. Like, I remember watching Brian Pillman in WWE. I remember going back after his death and watching his stuff in WCW, but I wasn't watching WCW when he was coming up in WCW. I think he's ultra talented. Maybe it's the connection of the heart stuff that Sean's still got a little bit of irritation with Brian Pillman because of the Heart Foundation. I don't know. But they're really making us try to think that Brian Pillman was this bad guy. At one point, Lexis should say, hey, look, I never shot anybody on television. Because we all know his dad did do that. Or at least kayfabe did that. Yeah, this segment ends. Lexis King says he's going to win, and I rolled my eyes because I really didn't think that was Ed getting the show canceled. No, we're not getting canceled. Mike also says those other GMs aren't Bloodline. That's true. Really is preaching the effect of Tuesday nights. Jaida comes back out before the commercial break, and she's yelling and screaming that she wants the underground now. And she tells the referee to take the ropes down about 6 times. And as Astrid said in our Discord chat, and I'm going to steal it here, I'm going to give you credit first, then steal it. This referee must have been related to the referee who didn't understand how to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase with Carmella. Because he
I said friends, not related.
Do you mean now? Like right now?
I said maybe they're friends, not related. Just in case. Oh
no.
my God.
We then get the commercial break. When we come back from the commercial break, we do indeed get Jaida saying she wants the underground. We get Ava coming out and saying, look, I get it. You want her on NXT Underground. I agree. It's all yours. You and her underground. But you got to do it Saturday because I'm not letting you wrestle 2 matches back to back. Look at Ava. I know Roxanne tells us she's a bad GM. I know Ethan Page tells us she's a bad GM. She's looking out for the talent. She's not letting her wrestle twice in a row. That, of course, brings out Lola Vice. And in the best moment of the night, my favorite moment of the night, Lola Vice gets knocked the fuck out.
Thank you, Jaida.
Incredible elbow by Jaida Parker.
Thank you, Jaida.
Andre is very excited for Lola Vice and NXT Underground for Deadline. in our Discord. He was very, very excited. To which I put the puking emoji. Because that's what I think of Lola Vice. Millie says that segment was odd. No, I understand and get the segment, and I like the segment. The only thing I would say is, why did you waste the time taking the ropes off like you were going to do it to just do it Saturday? Like, it just seemed weird that they listened to Jaida like they don't have a higher authority to answer to. It just
I like
seemed
it just because
weird.
it makes the show look more spontaneous in that sense of it, of like, this is not planned, but we're gonna make it happen because she's saying so. Jeez. But I like that part of it that makes it look like it's not planned. And my favorite thing about the Lola part though was like, finally her Spanish sounds so well. This time she didn't sound like she didn't know what she was saying. And she goes, Jada, que estúpida eres. And I was like, yep, that's definitely like her Hispanic coming out. Finally, she doesn't have to say it out loud because that definitely said it for her. But I like how they just make it seem like it was not planned. But again, it's like the part that bothered me is like, why would you take out the ropes to put them back again? I would just like keep stalling, but not the way that the referee was doing. That Jada had to go back and forth and tell him a few times, do it. No, so just pretend you're taking down the ropes until Ava comes out, though.
Yeah, there were a million ways to do this. They chose to do 6 in one, half a dozen in the other correctly. But at the end of the day, there's no worry about it. Jada's remember when she slapped Roxanne? Yeah, they do remember when she slapped Roxanne. Like, I get listening to her, but like, you're a referee. You have an earpiece to talk to people backstage. You figure you could just get word from somebody backstage, like, I don't know, Shawn Michael on the headset right behind where the camera at gorilla position. Lola goes blowing past Ava, and Ava just stands there looking. Yeah, nobody wants to deal with Lola. Lola's just annoying enough. She just let her get her ass beat. We then get the tag team starting to come out for the tag team battle royal. But when we come back from the commercial break, we have Brinley and Dion talking to Karmen about Ashanti and Nikkita. Now, no, Asher, we need to wake up because we need to talk about something here.
No.
Why is Mr. Reading Man starting to become Mr. Reading Ashanti the Adonis? Did you see how excited he was for his friend Ashanti?
Here, Dion, if you need a book, I got a couple I can give you. Here, it's better than Ashanti anytime. Here. Oh my gosh, that was terrible.
Ashanti, they're trying to talk to him. They're trying to talk to Karmen, and Dion's like, hey, look, no, I saw the text way before. It's fine. It's no big deal. But he seemed really interested in whatever Nikkita was texting him. I mean, yeah. I'd like to see those texts. I'll be honest. I'm curious what her texts were.
No, we're not.
Oh, Millie's upset. I'm sensing some dislike from Hollywood. Underground was mentioned, and I instinctively went, "Oh, come on!" Yes, Millie, you missed it last week where we had our tirade about how every time they need to end a Lola Vice feud, they just put it in Underground because she's not capable of having a wrestling match to end a feud.
Ugh, I'm done with it.
Going back to the to why they started taking the ring down, Bischoff is trying to sell Michaels a house during that segment. I mean, I hear Cody Montana is beautiful this time of year. Ashanti sends Karmen flowers and tells her that he's excited for her match and yada yada. And of course, like any woman, she gets flowers and instantly everything's forgiven.
Hell no.
I mean, it seems like living proof. Every time she gets flowers, she forgives Ashanti for everything he's ever done.
No, that's a Karmen thing, not a woman thing.
It's indeed how it works.
No.
He goes, I went back and watched last week's episode and actually agree with most of what y'all said. Uh-oh, people are agreeing with us. That can't be good. I hate this segment. I know it's not Lana and Bobby Lashley, but it's getting there with me.
Oh my god, no.
Remember when Liv Morgan was Lana's lesbian lover before
Don't
her
remind
wedding?
me. That was terrible too. One of the worst Raw at the end of the years I've ever seen in my life.
Where's the goldfish?
Oh
No.
my god. Dang, going
Oh,
back
I
to
love
Lana
when
and
the
Bobby
comment section
Lashley.
comes up with some good stuff. Good stuff, Will Chisholm. I appreciate this one. That's a callback that none of us wanted and everybody needed to have. We move on to the tag team battle royal. And believe it or not, I actually took really good notes for this. And by really good notes for this, I actually have the order everybody was eliminated individually. So the first person eliminated was Tyson from TNT. And then Luca got eliminated. And then Tavion Heights got eliminated. And then Josh Briggs got eliminated. And then Stax got eliminated. And as soon as Stax got eliminated, we went to a commercial break. During said commercial break, they come back and show us that Inamura, Briggs' new Japanese friend from Noah, because that's how I'm going to talk about him every time we see him, is he's Briggs' Japanese friend from Noah. He got eliminated first during the commercial break, followed by Bronco Nima, who also got eliminated during the commercial break. As we come back, we see Tyreek get eliminated. We then see Hank Walker get eliminated when Tyreek was trying to get back in the ring to beat people up, and he held the rope down, and it ended up getting Hank Walker eliminated, which, by the way, sensational. Like, that was really well-timed good work by all of those people involved, because he wasn't on that ring apron more than 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And Briggs went out, and Hank went out really well. Like, that was a really well-done spot.
And Coffee, like,
Kudos.
celebrating in the background, too. Like, the whole time in there, that sequence is just priceless.
Really, really good. We then saw the final 5, which included both members of Gallus. I was very excited because I wanted to talk about how it was Mark's favorite tag team.
No.
But unfortunately, they eliminated one by one right after this, as they go ahead and the final 3 end up getting in here and eliminating Gallus, to which Mark says Gallus was Mike says Gallus was robbed. Mark, same difference at this point. We then see, in the greatest battle royal spot sequence I've ever seen, Baby Randy eliminates both Tank and Lucien Price in a matter of seconds, to the point where the people who are literally calling the match, who have the sheet in front of them telling them the order of elimination, missed Lucien Price being eliminated to win the match. And they only realized the match was over when the bell rang.
NQCC.
Wren, get your hand down.
Wren QCC.
Millie also says the timing. It's been 5 years since Lana and Bobby got arrested. I was there live. Thank you, Facebook, for the reminder. Will says the sad thing is that if the dementia era was still going on, they would do a storyline of him being Randy's son. See, I don't hate that idea. Like, that would make sense. Again, the idea that Kurt Angle had an illegitimate son wasn't a bad storyline. It was only a bad storyline because they chose Jason Jordan, because Vince, funny, black kid, white guy. That's the reason why that was a bad storyline. Had they chose Chad Gable, it would have made all the sense in the world. Have been a fantastic storyline. Like, it really could have. It was this close to being a great story, and they literally just needed to pick the other member of American Alpha.
It's almost like when Swoggle was his son, too.
Yeah.
Hashtag never
Logan says that he likes the love story between Karmen and Ashok.
You
You might be the only one, my friend. You might indeed be the only one. Absolutely amazing time. But we now know that we have the Candy Crew taking on Axiom for the tag team championships. And Astrid, your boys are going to lose their tag team titles on Saturday.
That's what we keep saying, and nothing happens.
It's going to happen on Saturday.
I don't know.
You're not prepared yet, are you, Astrid? You're making this
never
mistake
have
again,
been.
aren't you?
Never happened before for them to lose. But then Nathan can pull double duty on that line, though.
Mike says it's not happening. Millie also says, I was also there live for that, the Jason Jordan reveal. That crowd reaction was hilariously mid. It wasn't nearly as mid as everybody on TV, watching on TV going, what the fuck? Like, it was right there in front of you. You just picked the Olympian. That's all you had to do was pick the Olympian.
As Smell would say, just part of the dementia era. So
it was indeed part of the dementia era. We then get one of my other favorite segments of the night. We get Uncle Eric. Uncle Eric's here. This segment quickly went downhill for me after they stopped using Uncle Eric, I'll be honest with you. So, Uncle Eric brings out Ridge. He brings out Trick Williams. He talks about how great NXT is, how it's the future of professional wrestling, how it's all these things. And I couldn't just help but think, and I hate to take another shot at, no, I don't hate to take another shot. I will take another shot. How often Eric Bischoff loves to sit here and rag on AEW constantly for the stupidest of reasons, because Eric Bischoff is a very, very, very petty man. But he's saying all the things that most people say about AEW, about NXT. And I just found it funny that Eric's the one giving this sermon.
That one sounds a little bitter. Didn't get a phone call. That's what it sounds like.
Oh, it's entirely that he's bitter that he's not been invited. But it's because his best buddy is banned from there. No buts, sir. This segment was downhill. No, Uncle Eric is great. Like I think Eric Bischoff is a mind in professional wrestling that gets too much credit for the one thing he did right, too much blame for the things that went wrong. And at the end of the day, he's a smart guy in the wrestling business who, other than being Hulk Hogan's friend, has seemingly done nothing else wrong. And again, most of the things he did wrong to ruin the company that he potentially ruined were because he was Hulk Hogan's friend and did the things that Hulk Hogan wanted to do. But if you take the Hulk Hogan, he's pretty at decent. He seems like a decent guy. I like Eric Bischoff.
I will take something from my Canadian friends. They go,
Companies. Yes, companies. Yes. But again, Hulk Hogan ruined both TNA and WCW. Let's be honest. I don't think the problem there was ever Eric Bischoff. He did hire Vince Russo. And that wasn't the worst decision that WCW ever did. And mind you, Vince Russo made lots of bad decisions, but at that point, Eric Bischoff didn't care and was mostly gone from the company. So we can't blame him for the 2000s WCW because he wasn't there for that for the most part. Yes, Hulk Hogan, it doesn't work for me, brother. Anyways, Eric's here and he says that Ridge is an old throwback, and he names a couple people, including Dick the Bruiser, and I can see that in Ridge Holland. He reminds me of these guys in the old days. Well, he reminds me of what the guys in the old days looked like. These hard-nosed, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get over kind of thing from the 50s and the 60s. People that Papa Smokes would be able to tell us lots and lots about, like Dick the Bruiser. I swore he was going to name drop the AWA here when he was talking about Ridge Holland. No. Ridge had nowhere near the talent of Randy Orton. We'll talk about what I think of Ridge Holland.
Why you ignore that one? Because that one definitely is for you.
Yeah. I mean, I get the train back on track relatively quickly compared to the other shows on this network.
You're right.
If this were Honor Ramble, we'd still be talking about the first match, and it was a squash match. It only took 3 minutes.
Again, it's advertised in the name.
Yes, but we're 40 minutes into the show, and we're almost done the whole show. This is halfway.
SCG, do not help him.
See?
This man used to be worse at it. I had to put him on track all the time. Hence why, if you go back on our NXT shows, if I go like this, it's to get him back on NXT topics. He's gotten better at it because of
Our
me.
days over at Love Wrestling with the NXT where you do this to me.
I'm like, get on it. I was like, this is what we're talking about. It's right there. Thank you very much. He's learned from me, see?
I have learned. I will agree to that. He talks about how Trick is an evolution of the revolution. Which I can see. I get that. It makes sense. I don't care how much they... It's not. Vic Joseph almost guaranteed telling us it's not going to be the main event. I think last week's show was wrapping up right about now when Kimmy was here. For those that haven't seen, Kimmy is taking a change of course in her career, and she's announced that she is leaving wrestling media. So, she's wrapping up the rest of the month with Honor Ramble and other commitments that she has going on. And then she's moving on to different things, and I don't believe she's announced them publicly, so I'm not going to say them here. Because I know we've heard what the next plan is, but I don't remember seeing it publicly, so I'm not going to say it. Yes, I almost guarantee she will be here for trivia. It is before that.
I got to remind her.
The last Honor Ramble I believe that she's doing is the 26th, if I'm not mistaken. I have to agree. No, this is not a troll. Kimmy is unfortunately... Yes. People who haven't been following Kimmy on social media. She did announce over the weekend that she is leaving the wonderful world of wrestling media to take on other endeavors in this life. At 23, she's more successful than either one of us, by the way. I love it
for yourself. No, I'm kidding.
Seriously?
I said I'm kidding.
And the rails.
I like how I call
Quiet, Mike. Quiet, Mike. We don't need more people trying to control me.
Thank you, SCG. You know what you're talking about.
All right. Anyways, we're done talking about Hollywood Ashford here. We're talking about Trick Williams here. Ridge Holland then tries to cut a promo. Remember how I said last week's promo was really good because he said like 6 words and that was in his entire promo? Yeah, they let him say more than 6 words here, and guess what? It fucking sucked. To the point where Trick called him out and he's like, look, you're just repeating all the same garbage that everybody else has said. I'm just like, thank you, Trick. And then Ridge brings up that he's a rugby football player, and he's like, it's a man's sport. And I'm like, bitch, rugby is what football players who have no skill and no talent and can't play soccer go and do. When you're not good enough to play in the NFL and you're not good enough to play soccer, you play rugby. And while, it's tougher than football, it is indeed not a man's game necessarily. Because, by the way, women rugby too.
Where was it? Oh, he's like, you're a stand-up comedian with apps. And I said, that's all he can think about. Oh, my God.
Millie is upset with me for something I said. STG says, Ed with his Americanized take. I think Ed has taken one too many rugby hits. Mike also suggests that maybe Big E can be Ridge's manager. Too soon. By the way,
but we love Big E, though. Why would we do that to him?
Yes, I'd much rather Big E be somebody else's manager. I mean, not the New Day, because fuck the New Day, but, you know. By the way, I'm still not over that segment. I've watched it like 60 times, and I'm still not over that segment. By the way, Big E's girlfriend on Twitter, New follow. An instantly new follow for her. She is that really Mia Yim's sister?
Yep.
Well, I know she called herself Yim, but I wasn't sure. And I saw Mia
Mhm.
reference it. I'm like, well, it could be, but Mia Yim could just be saying it because it's Big E's girl. That they're like
Yeah.
brother and sister, so.
Yeah, that's her sister.
Yeah.
She's very funny.
Big E wanted to manage the New Day, but if he can't do that, maybe Ridge is a villain. Ridge needs somebody as a mouthpiece, but no, you know what? No, Ridge should just quit and go somewhere else. By the way, I hear AEW loves to take WWE people who can't do shit. So, Ridge, go ahead and go talk to Tony Khan. Anyways, this leads to Ridge calling Trick Williams soft, to which Trick punches Ridge in the face and they start brawling. So Ridge hits his finisher on the table and stretches Trick Williams out. By the way, why would you need to stretch somebody out for this finish? Like, I don't understand the physics of how Ridge's finish hurts the neck to require the thing. Like, I don't get it. I've watched enough wrestling. I don't get it.
Okay, maybe it's me too. But aside from what you said, though, on top of that, why would you do this kind of angle on the go home show? And then people are going to be like, wait, is this match really happening? Like, what's the point of doing that when you know it's probably going to happen? We know it's not the main event, most likely, based on what Big said. But what's the point of doing this on the go home show? Like, I would have done it the show before that, at least, but not on the go home show. It was like, oh no, we don't know if the match is going to happen. The Ava later says, oh no, Trick still wants to do the match. What's the point in that? I don't understand it, to be honest.
Yeah, no. I think the reason is to make some people believe that Ridge might have a shot to actually win this match, because nobody in their right mind believes Ridge Holland has any sort of shot.
I don't care what you do with it. You're not selling me on this match whatsoever. I don't want to
No,
see it. And
there's nothing they could do.
And I hate to say that because Trick is involved, but everything here involving everything in this whole match, not a fan of it whatsoever. And it's not because Rich is a heel, nothing like that. I'm not interested. I don't want to see it.
Mike also gives us another valid reason. I never understand why. Oh no, he's on your side. I never understand why he will try to hopwise the champ. If the champ can't make it, you don't get your title shot. I agree. With the little exception that sometimes they can call for a forfeit if you hurt them bad enough, I guess, but it still makes no sense. Ridge wins, and
well, especially this week.
Yeah, if Ridge wins this week, that's a lot of people being kind of tone deaf to Big E. I'll be honest.
Yes.
Mike is indeed spot on with that point. I agree. Mike does. Mike has very smart wrestling mind. He just watches Wednesday nights, you know. I got a follow back from Christian because of my support of Mia. All right, there we go.
Nice.
But someone might do a bracket tournament after. Yeah, like there's a ton of reasons to potentially try to hurt them. I just don't understand how it works. Like the move physically. I don't get it. But whatever. Ridge is going to lose on Saturday. We heard from Ava that Trick is vehement that he is going to defend his title on Saturday. Trick will win the match, and we won't have to worry about Ridge anymore, I hope.
Have it be the open and be done, please. Because that's the only match I don't want to see.
They're opening with the Iron Survivor for the men.
I know, but that's just me what I want.
Will there be a post show? There will indeed be a post show. We will announce.
What kind of question is that?
There's always
always a post show.
Yes, that would be horrible given the Big E thing. It would be the wrong week to do it. I will be honest.
Yes.
It would be a bit tone deaf to do it this week.
Mm-hmm. Come on,
yes,
SCG. You should
always with us on after NXT PLE. If NXT is on the TV, we're going to be here. With the exception of Christmas Eve, we're going to be here. I will be here solo on New Year's Eve because I'm a loser with nothing else to do.
Me neither, but sorry.
Well, no, you have other things to do. Anyways, this is where we get the Karmen Petrovic versus Nikkita Lyons match. Ashante the Adonis comes out and tries to get involved, getting Karmen back up. He pushes her out of the way. He eats a Nikkita Lyons shot. Nikkita says, I wasn't even that interested in you anyways. And Karmen pins Nikkita. All right, fine. That all happened. Great. My bigger problem with this is, and again, I'm going to potentially do great bodily harm to myself by saying this, but I'm going to say it anyways. Because I have a female co-host, and this might not come out right. Again, like women so often do,
Uh-oh.
he saved her, and she's still mad at him for pushing her out of the way. She won the match because of him, and somehow he's the problem.
I don't know. She might see like he was helping Nikkita at first.
But if he doesn't push her away, she gets blasted by Nikkita and she loses the match.
I'm just telling you from her point of view.
I'm just saying, she's yelling at,
I don't
but
agree-
you
I don't
pushed
agree
me out
with
of the
you
way,
either.
but you pushed me out. He's like, but you won.
I'm so done with this storyline.
She wasn't allowed to win it on her own, like Gunther was upset with Finn yesterday. No! I mean, yeah. I don't know what that has to do with Ashante and Karmen, though. But I mean, I know who one of the three people it has to deal with. I know that, but all right. Moving on. Shawn Spears is backstage talking to Nico. He says that he's been molding Nico's mind for the past few months.
Oh
Would have been
my
nice
God.
to have seen her on television. Would have been nice. He says that everything's gone according to plan. He's very happy with everything. And Jensen's like, but wait, we don't have the North American Championship. Tony still has it. He's like, long game. It doesn't much matter. Nico's mind is getting molded. What? Yeah. Like I said, I guess we're getting Nico in ring debut soon. From the sounds of it from Shawn Spears, I guess we're getting it soon. So,
This reminds me of the NXT 2.0 era when people just show up and we don't know who the heck they are. That hasn't happened in quite a while. I don't know.
Yeah. He then says that we need to add one more piece to our group, and Gigi Dolin comes walking by with Tatum Paxley.
No.
Hashtag soon. And he tries to talk to Gigi, and she wants nothing to do with him, and they walk away, and Tatum Paxley has the line of the night where she looks at Gigi and goes, he's creepy. And that's coming from me.
That was great.
I love self-aware Tatum Paxley. It's so great.
It was.
Oh. But then we have the Candy Crew backstage in the progressive moment of the night where the Candy Crew is getting praise from Charles. Charles is handing out praise, talking about how great it is that the boys got the tag team battle royal win. He's handing out praise, talking about how Wren got the win. I like how he used the very specific words, you fell into a victory. Nice job, Charles. I saw what you did there. Good job. Yes, indeed, Tatum for the win. We do love that woman so much. We also love Big Body Javi. We hope he comes on the show someday.
No, I think she's talking about Wren, though. So.
Oh, she might be talking about Wren. She does adore Wren. So
yeah, that's why I think it's.
I mean, we'll take Wren on the show too. I mean, if Wren wants to come on, we'll talk to Wren too. I've applied for media for 2 weeks from now in Lowell. I've not heard a word, but I've tried to get some media availability for that show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So come this Sunday, they could all be in line for championships with the new tag team champions in the Candy Crew of Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights. We have the current Heritage Cup champion and Charlie Dempsey. And we could potentially absolutely don't have the Iron Survivor winner in Wren Sinclair. We don't have the Iron Survivor there. She's not winning. Didn't matter who else was in this match when she held the championship up at the end of the show. She kind of just, screwed herself out of that. That was towards Tatum because of herself.
I stand corrected. Okay.
Yay, I was right about something. Woo! Doesn't happen often.
That's true.
We then get Gigi Dolin in her return match, beating Izzy Dame. Also a return match for Izzy Dame.
I was thinking about that. I was like, they never mentioned anything about her match. It's just like Gigi's return.
I'm like, we haven't seen... the last time we saw Izzy Dame, she was bitching, moaning, and complaining that she wasn't in that, women's, gauntlet match. Remember? Remember when Roxanne needed a challenger and they wanted somebody who'd never faced her before, and she got in some storylines about that and they went nowhere?
Telling you, taking her up in Kiana was probably one of the worst decisions we ever seen recently.
Wren is made of iron. She's got this. No. Her head is made of iron. Everything else is made of rocks. But I do love Wren. Why did you touch the championship?
You touch it and raise it, and no.
Yeah, she raised it over the fallen champion. Not good.
Nope.
Not good at all.
Nope.
What do you think of Gigi Dolin versus Izzy Dame here?
It was fine. Nothing major to really bring out. I did like the fact that obviously we have Tatum at ringside with the doll in hand when she's cheering on. I know she gets kicked out at one point by Izzy too, and even Sean Spears comes in to watch the match, and you can see that Gigi's watching him for a moment when I think she did some kind of clothesline to Izzy when she was watching him. But again, it's I feel like there was nothing out of the ordinary here.
Nope.
But it's it's interesting because either way, okay, I'm thinking about it this way. It could be a swerve, or they could actually be putting Tatum in this position instead of Gigi.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I don't know if I like it, just because I'm thinking if they do go with the route that is Gigi. She just returned. She's a face. I feel like it's a few heels here and there. So it's I wouldn't want her to turn heel and be with Sean. But then Tatum is so loved too as a face, and what she's doing right now, I wouldn't want her to get involved with Sean either. So I was I feel like it's not a good timing to do this. I know it's something that will take a while, just because it took a while with with Brooks. I know it took a while there for that to really happen on screen. But I feel like either way, if it's either one of them that he was watching there, I don't like it. I like Spears and I like them, but I don't want it to happen at the same time.
Yeah, these two women are not the ones that we need for this spot. I don't mind him adding a girl to the group. I think that's a good idea. I have no problem with it. I don't love the idea, like you, of Tatum. I think Tatum is a problem if that's the route they're going. I see the connections that they're making, and I get it. I think it's the wrong time for her, because I think she's gathered a lot of momentum on her own. And I think it would be a mistake to do that. But I see where they're going with it. She's a little bit crazy. She could be manipulated mentally. That I get. I like all that. That makes sense. However, she's in a place where I don't think she needs that.
Yeah.
And especially turning her heel when she's finally got the crowd behind her seems a bit counterproductive. But remember, last week we were wondering whether or not they were going to add Adriana Rizzo to this group. So it might just be him looking at all of the women up and down the division. Hell, I wouldn't be upset if he gets into the ear of Izzy Dame. That, I think, is the best fit of the three that were out there. I think Izzy Dame is the fit, because Spears is all about bringing out the best of them, trying to give people who don't have a home. And I think Izzy Dame could be the one who he could mold a little bit into something like him. She's already a heel. She has nothing going on. She just came back from absolute nothingness in a random match against Gigi Dolin, where they happen to be involved in Sean Spears. Maybe my mind's just going a little too quick here, but that's the one that makes the most sense to me.
No, I definitely agree with you there, because I also feel with Izzy, I feel that she's at a point that she's doing nothing, and you can mold her to do anything at this point, really. And not only that, but you can give her some personality that she needs. And I feel like Sean will be a good person to bring that out in her. So if it's her, I'm glad. I don't have, like you said, it's like I don't have the problem whether it happens to Gigi or Tatum. My problem is that I feel like they don't need it though. I feel like they're doing well on their own enough that they don't need that storyline, to put it like that. If it happens, it happens. But I feel like you said, it's like Izzy would be the best choice of somebody you can mold and give her a little bit of character change, and Sean can bring that up in her and like teach her more, because I feel like she was doing well with Kiana, and if Kiana got called up, she didn't, so that broke off that, and I feel like that lost her momentum that she had on screen, because it was her and Kiana on screen very often, whether it was in matches or backstage, and we don't get that from her right now. So I feel like it will make more sense.
Yeah. We have Millie coming in. I remember what Tatum used to look like. I was reminded of what Tatum used to look like pre-Crazy Tatum, and I'm like, I don't remember. Remember when she was trying to be part of the Diamond Mine?
Yeah.
Remember when she was trying to be part of the Diamond Mine with Roderick Strong?
That
and
feels
the
so
Creed
long ago
brothers?
now.
Yeah. It's been a long time since she's been there.
Mm-hmm.
And no, we know you were half joking. And yes, it's not even the NXT talent. If you look at WWE talent general, it's scary. There are a lot of right-wing Republicans in the world of professional wrestling. Unfortunately, we just have to understand that our heroes are not the people that we want them to be more often than not. You just got to kind of hope. Yeah, I have absolutely no recollection of that at all.
Yeah. Blame you there.
She would remember when she was hearing things that what was it? The Unholy Union. Remember when she was teaming with Ivy Nile and she was hearing things from the Unholy Union? I think that's what screwed her up, and that's what made her crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, we get Javon Evans backstage, and he's talking about how Uncle Cedric's going to win the Iron Survivor qualifier match tonight, and Xbox shows up.
Yes.
Javon marks out hardcore for X-Pac.
He was so cute.
Astrid, X-Pac brought up a match, and I'm curious if you know about this match. Razor Ramon versus the 1-2-3 Kid.
I heard about it, but I wasn't watching at the time, of course.
Okay, just curious. Just wanted to check.
I'm older than Javon, at least. Come on.
Not by much.
It is by a few years.
Not by much. This is a fine segment. I love the idea of using X-Pac to rub a little bit of NWO dust on Javon Evans and get him over. For once, the nerdy, like, Javon, who's like a fan, comes off the right way here.
Mm-hmm.
And it made for really fun stuff dealing with Ethan Page later on in the main event.
Yeah. I think my favorite part, though, when he's like, I'm a big fan of you. He's like, vice versa, OG, vice versa.
Yeah. X-Pac's like, I don't want to fucking do this. Like, he couldn't get out of that segment fast enough.
Man, he got paid. Why not? 5 minutes on screen. I will do that too.
I mean, did he get paid? Or did Shawn Michaels just tell his buddy to come over and, come visit the PC?
I mean, he's the booker for a reason. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, the booker always gets to get their friends on the shows. We know that. Speaking of your friends on the shows, STG had asked a little while ago. We'll go ahead and announce it now. For our deadline post shows, we have Friends of Astrid coming to join us. For the preview show, we have, she's known on Twitter as
Peggy.
Ophelia Payne, but her name is Peggy. She writes for Xbox Magazine. She's a big wrestling fan up in Canada with our Edmonton contingent. She visits a lot of those shows, especially the LPW shows. That's where you got a chance to finally meet Peggy. She's going to be joining us for our preview show that will be coming out Friday night, pre-recorded after Japanese Wrestling Update ends. So it'll probably be about 11-ish Eastern Standard Time when that one drops. And then Saturday night, we have Santana. Santana is joining us again. She joined me and Andre for Marvel Talk last week when we talked about Black Widow. She's going to be joining me and Asher to go ahead and talk about all things Deadline after Deadline's come over. Come and Gone. So come on over and see the three of us as we talk all about that after
Yes.
that
I
show
got her out of
ended.
retirement.
You
Yes.
did get her out of semi-retirement. Will says X-Pac's still the coolest member of the No. Shawn Michaels is still the coolest member of the clique. X-Pac is down there somewhere. Javon looked like he didn't know the Too Sweet was coming. I don't know how you wouldn't know when you're talking to a member of the clique that the Too Sweet is coming, but yes, he did seem very, very surprised that he got the Too Sweet.
No.
Again, I liked this mark out moment from Javon. Most of the time, it drives me batshit crazy. This one was pretty good. We then get the men's Iron Survivor last chance qualifying match. Astrid, why don't you say good things while I get some more haterade?
Just because I'm the positive one, I have to be positive all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I did like having everybody else from the match in like corners here because we had Nathan down there because he came out with Axiom. Yeah. And then we had you're muted.
In case Mel's here.
And then we get Wesley in the Eagle's Nest, Javon's in the audience, and Ethan in commentary. I love how everybody took a corner in here somewhere. It was fine. It was just the fact that this, unlike the women's match, it was, I don't want to say less predictable, but it was one of those, like, at least with the women, I feel like it could have gone either way. And I feel like with this one, in my mind, I was thinking, this is Axiom. And that's it. That was set on that. So thinking about the match itself, I'm waiting for those moments. I do like having Nathan warning him in certain parts of the match when somebody was coming or something was happening. He was still watching out for him. And I like the double dive when Cedric was diving onto Lexis, and then he was diving on the other side here with Cedric. But I was torn about this just because I feel like, I don't want to say it was slow, but I just didn't feel like it was what I wanted out of the match. I feel like they didn't take advantage of it the way the girls did. I feel like they did very well to like really showcase each other. I feel like we didn't get that in here. I feel like there was more attention on what was happening around on Javon and Ethan and even Wes and Eagles Nest and even a little bit of Axiom in here and Nathan at ringside. But I feel like I wasn't into this match the way I thought I would be. Obviously, the only one I didn't want to win was Lexis. Everybody else I was like okay with, and the Axiom was definitely my number one. But the way this happened with Eddy is like him taking advantage of Axiom's work, basically.
Oh.
Yeah, not a fan of it. And it's like I don't like how it's coming out. I know it has to do with this turn that's coming from him, but no, I'm not a fan of how this turned out. It wasn't like the timing that what we got from Wren at the beginning. The timing of here was not the same in that aspect of it. So yeah, I don't know. It wasn't really my type of match this time tonight. I would have preferred Axiom won it because I feel like it would have been interesting seeing the tag team champions being defending the titles together, but also going against each other in the Iron Survivor. Like that would have been a great story for them as a team.
Yeah. Millie says that she likes the outcome of this match and she thought that was predictable. This is the last thing on the world that I thought was going to happen. Because I'll be honest with you, everybody in this match other than Axiom is a waste of that spot. Every single other person in this match wastes the number 5 spot in the Iron Survivor. Eddy Thorpe, Lexis King, all of them. Hey, DC, thank you for joining us. I hope Tuesday Night Besties was a good debut tonight. Hopefully you guys have another great show. I know I stopped in the chat just to say hi earlier. I appreciate you stopping by here. After our show, if you want to go over there, go over to the bodyslam.net channel and go ahead and check out the Tuesday Night Besties, DC Hendricks and Amanda Savage. Fantastic content creators over there at Body Slam. They do incredible work. Go check them out. They are fantastic people. They both have been on our NXT shows. Mm-hmm. We had Amanda during WrestleMania weekend for Stand and Deliver post show, and we had DC for one of our post shows later on in the year. I don't remember which one it was exactly, but I know it's in the intro.
Intro. Mm-hmm.
And I want to work with DC again at some point, but now that we both do shows on Tuesday night, it's going to be a lot harder. But we'll make it work. Taking over the besties, we'll figure something out. Anyways, Eddie Thorpe wins this match, and I feel like it's a bit of a waste of a spot. I like Eddie Thorpe. I like the heel turn. I think him losing this match continues that heel turn in a much better way because it gives him something to be angry about. Now, granted, him getting taken out at the end of the show gives him something to be angry about, so maybe that works. But the only way I can see them fixing it is they pick somebody from the three that were left to put into the match, or they have a triple threat during the pre-show, which means Axiom might have to wrestle 3 times at pay-per-view. But at the end of the day, based on the way they're pushing people, I think it's going to be Lexis. I think Lexis is going to be in here.
Yuck.
DC says that's why I like that he got attacked. Somebody might take his spot. Oba or one of the new Bloodline guys. Yeah, at the beginning of the show we were talking about it, and I think a lot of us are on the same wavelength with the Bloodline guys that it might be Lance and Awahi. I think it's less likely to be Hikuleu. It makes sense if The Rock is running the Timu Bloodline, the Solo Sikoa version of the Bloodline, that it would be that Hikuleu would work for that because he's related to the other Tongans. I believe he's the only son, I believe, of what's his name? Haku. And I believe the other 2 are adopted sons from one of his partner's previous marriages. Either way, I think there's a lot of good in there. He just can't catch a break. Karma hates him. I don't think Karma's wrestling anymore. I haven't seen her do anything. Awesome Kong hasn't done anything in a while.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, come on. You're a TNA fan. That's got to pop you a little bit.
No.
DC's right. I said Lexis, who was conveniently right there first, and he's probably tired of trying to be nice. That would work. That would make sense. I will say that all 3 of them were there.
Yeah, Cedric, I remember, was on the left side of the TV.
They came in succession.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, I don't necessarily hate the idea that it was Lexis King. I do like the idea that they're going to stop this godforsaken fucking face turn with him. Nobody wants to cheer him, no matter how hard you try.
I don't want to cheer or boo him. I just don't want him on my TV at this point.
And then we get ready for the main event.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who pad.
So we move on to the main event segment, which is Roxanne Perez. She comes out and she starts talking down the women's division, cutting a half-decent promo, I guess. Wilson says, I do love how Julie is almost saying openly that she wants Megan. Yes, I've seen that multiple times when the both of them are like, we need to do this forever. And she's like, well, look, I'm working somewhere. You can come find me anytime. You know where I am. Megan Bayne is technically all elite, though, isn't she?
That's been the rumor for a while, but again, no sight of her in AEW in a while.
I would say she's never appeared for AEW other than extras appearances or like squash work.
Yeah.
But she's never like really appeared
in
any way, shape, or form, right?
Nope.
Trust me, I've seen lots of her work here on the local indie scene. There are also 2 Megan Baynes, like there are 2 Dana Brooks. There are 2 Megan Baynes. But we're moving on from that. I don't know what Millie saw that was so cool, but, you know, we are talking about the cool main event here. Roxanne talks all kinds of trash about all the people in the match. She talks about how Wren Sinclair reminds her of her when she won the Iron Survivor, except that even if she wins the Iron Survivor, this Wren Sinclair can't beat this version of Roxanne Perez. And I'll be honest, if Wren Sinclair does win, I really, really don't want her beating Roxanne Perez. That would be kind of pitiful after everything that Roxanne has beat. Everybody Roxanne has beaten, she needs to be beaten by a star. And I love Wren. She's not a star.
I think
really
she's giving her that, as you call it, the rub, because that's a Texas girl and they came from around the same place. So I think that's why she gave her a little bit more of a oomph than the other ones. That just my take, and just so you know.
Yeah, no, I get it. She then starts talking down the rest of the people. She talks about how Sol Ruca was the first to qualify. She talks about how Julia can't beat her because she's already been there, done that. She gets ready to run down the other two when all of a sudden Sol Ruca comes out. And then out comes Zarya. And then Stephanie came out. And then Julia came out and got right up in her personal space. Julia got right in her face, which I did think was fantastic. And it's at this point that Booker T's like, hey, this isn't good. They can't be doing this. I'm like, fuck you, Booker. Just shut the fuck up. I can't wait to see him cry tears of just pure despair when she loses that title. It cannot come soon enough.
I would mute it when she loses, just because I don't want to hear his voice afterwards.
Don't worry, I'll record it for you. Don't you worry. Because I'll be very excited. I'll be yelling at you. Yahoo!
No, it'll be bittersweet for me, that's for sure. But I like the fact that you see the girls standing in front of each other like this, and then she's with the microphones like, yeah, but before you get to me, you gotta get to each other. And then she just leaves.
Yep, like a villain who just sort of slinks out of the way. She's like, but you've got to fight each other. And like she's just like, you know, like in those cartoons where she throws the ninja thing and like the smoke comes and she disappears. She tries to disappear and Wren comes out from behind her, grabs her by the ankle, pulls her down, beats her up, and then Wren. Where's the comment? Wren, you went ahead and you picked up the championship. Why did you touch the championship?
And this is when I go. Let's see if I find it real quick before I forget.
That was such a great moment.
I don't know how I feel about it. Where the heck is my clip? Oh, here we go.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you said that Julia can't beat you. She can. You talked about how none of them have the ability to beat you when it counts, but Zarya pinned you in a 10-person tag, and Stephanie Vaquer pinned you in a tag team match. So those seem like matches where they count. So those are your lies, little Miss Roxy.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be bittersweet just because I like this run from Roxanne so much better than the first one. I feel like this is how the first one should have gone to begin with. So I'm glad she got this
You mean when they
opportunity.
gave her an anxiety disorder?
I
and
hated that so much.
took the title
Just
from
because-
her to
Yeah,
put it
that
in a
was
ladder match to
not my
get-
cup of tea. But I like this reign a lot more because she has faced so many different people in so many different ways, and she has been able to overcome them. And she, like Bailey in this aspect for me, it's one of those people that like, I never thought she would be like a decent heel. And I feel like at first she was terrible, but she has grown so much into it. I know she can learn more about it, but she's doing better than what she did at the beginning. And she has grown so much into this character that's gonna be so bittersweet to see her move on from this after it's over and seeing her like the new crop of girls take over, because I feel like she has been the foundation for what 2 years at this point of NXT. So just thinking about it, that's gonna be so bittersweet for me to watch.
She won the title last year at Stand and Deliver. That was so brilliantly done. The camera angle of those in the ring, not seeing Wren being all tough guy holding the belt over her head. Yeah. And Will comes in here, going back to our Megan Bain. If I'm Megan Bain and I saw how AEW did Camille, I'm talking to HBK and Triple H real quick so I don't become Mercedes New Heavy. Well, Mercedes is telling us all about how great that AEW women's division is. It's the best women's division in all of wrestling, according to Mercedes.
I'll be writing all about it soon. I got inspired by that stuff.
What, you mean Mercedes telling more lies? The woman opens her mouth and lies come spilling out.
Oh gosh.
I've known about her for a long time. I've not had good run-ins with her. Not a fan. Fan of her in-ring work. In the ring, you can't discount the work that she does. Outside the ring, pass. Anyways, that was NXT. Look at that. An hour and 20 minutes. We did the whole thing in an hour and 20 minutes. It's not bad. We've done longer shows. We've gone almost 2 hours on weekly shows before.
Yeah.
Talking about me getting distracted too much and getting us off the rails. Speaking of being
back
off
on the rails.
Little Miss Astrid, go ahead and tell the people where they can find you coming up soon.
I mean, you mentioned it already. We got the Deadline preview show with Peggy, the post show with Santana, so really excited about that. I'm already trying to cook up the ones for hopefully January. We'll see about that.
New Year's Evil was already announced, but that sounds like a Tuesday show.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking for the pay-per-view show. Definitely thinking of.
There's not going to be one in January.
Well, whatever comes up next, top it. Whatever happens next, I'm cooking it up. Relax. Thank you.
No, he's cooking. He's cooking. You're not cooking nothing.
Yeah, I am in here. You can find me on my Twitter and Blue Skies, Astrid Pizarro, and my Instagram and Threads, Astrid Pizarro 20. And that's where you can find me this week so far.
You can also find her this upcoming Monday night on this show. Where is the graphic? There's the graphic.
Yes. I'm still not used to Mondays now.
You know, we did a show every other week on Mondays for like 3 months.
Yeah, I'm still not used to it.
Assuming Rumble weekend will be the next premium live event for NXT. Maybe. I wouldn't discount that, but again, that's not till friggin' February now. Oh God. That almost 2 hour show is honestly most likely a count on me diverting. No, Auntie Colin was in charge of that show, so it was never going to be on the rails to begin with. You can, of course, find me on Twitter at EdFrost12584. You can find me on Blue Skies posting stuff because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing there. So,
same you do on Twitter. Nothing.
No, I post stuff on Twitter. I know how to use Twitter.
Then,
I don't know.
Then you can cross post.
I don't know. You can find me this week with Astrid doing all of our same shows. And then you can catch me on the 11th, 1 week from tomorrow night. You can catch me and Andre C as we have our final MCU rebound of the year as we talk the Scott Derrickson Doctor Strange movie on the MCU rebound of Marvel Talk. And then we got a Christmas gift for you. We're going to be going ahead and dropping the pre-recorded review of Once Upon a Deadpool, which is the story of Deadpool 2, told by Deadpool to an adult Fred Savage in the same bedroom he was in when he was a kid and did The Princess Bride. So that's all kinds of fun stuff. If you want to get a hold of our local establishment, you can find us at all of these wonderful places. And if you want to know what we've got coming up for the rest of the week on our local establishment, I'm going to play the calendar before I play the outro. So thank you all for joining us. I greatly appreciate it. Let's get to these last minute comments. We have Millie saying thanks. We have, what's with the new 2025 new host? I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh?
What's he talking about? What new host tag? I think SGG's been getting into that Canadian whiskey a little earlier. But you know what? We'll see you all later on this week in the pre-recorded show for Deadline. We'll see you on the post show live with Santana for that show. But check out all the wonderful things at our local establishment right here.
Please note. Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Pulls are calling and I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. Tell me this time is coming, for the sake of all your lies.